Dad, Dad.
Yeah, right.
Should we bring the small ones?
The luggage bag of lures. Yeah, bring the small ones. Bring the small frogs.
What about
them? Oh, these are cool. We'll take these. They're super cool. Housekeeping. How'd you go? Good job. Wash your hands. Well, a bit of a tougher day yesterday. We had not a bad morning session, but we had that storm roll in. So the storm was supposed to roll in a little bit later in the day, but it hit us at about 3 or 4 o'clock. We wanted to fish into the dark, which we still did get an opportunity to do, but it was a little bit tougher. We all got soaking wet. There was a little bit of lightning out there, which you would have seen already. So we had to hide from the lightning for a little while and made us throw a few frogs, which we probably wouldn't have thrown yesterday, and we caught some fish on them, so that was pretty fun. But hopefully today we've got a pretty much full day planned. So we'll do a morning session, come back in for some lunch, do an arvo session, and hopefully we can get a little bit better weather. True Brock fashion, the weather looks crap again today, but we're going to push through and see how we go. So we'll see you on the water. So as I've mentioned a few times, we had a bit of a disastrous day one, and this was one of the casualties. Brand new net in the rod holder. I've already straightened that back out. We're just going to do some quick running repairs. Now, if you have one of these nets, they are pretty cool. Silicone material, and I'll show you a little trick if you tear one. Just grabbed a couple of zip ties from Super Cheap, a few bucks. And just literally gonna essentially stitch that back up with zip ties. We probably didn't even need any zip ties. The bass will be that big today that they won't fit out of that hole, but we better, we still want to net some of Brax's. Yo! Jesus! Just woken every person up that lives within 10 k's of here, because I just heard that, bro. Wow. What a man, you doing wrong, Brax. Banksy's had a few massive blow-ups. His lure's got a black belly. Me and Braxy were throwing white, but there's probably not much point us both throwing exactly the same colour if we're not seeing as much action. And Banks, that black belly, he's had some blow-ups, so I changed over to a black one. 2 casts. First fish was a big one, cartwheeled out of the water. Next one was this little fella. But have a look how savage these Aussie bass are. Now that's the lure, and that's the fish that ate that lure. And these lures make a ton of noise, as you've already seen. That is burning along the top, throwing bubbles, noise, everything everywhere. You would think it would scare a fish that size, but the Aussies, mate, they're tough. The Aussie bass. Brim fishing and you go flatty fishing and that sort of thing, and it's sick. Like, all that style of fishing's cool, like even whiting topwater, all that topwater fishing. But I just like this, that there's nothing happens before they eat it. There's no follow, there's no little sort of swipes at it. I mean, we have had a little bit of that, but not very much. But normally, you're watching your lure, and then all of a sudden it just disappears. Well, just a bit of a rundown on the rods and reels we're using. We've got a mix of bait, caster and spin. It might look like we're fishing a little bit heavy on some of the rods, but some of these lures are pretty heavy. So to be able to throw these pretty big lures, and these bass are living in super thick weed, so like really tough weed. So we don't have huge leaders on, but we've more so just upsized the rods and reels a little bit. So 3,000, smaller 4,000 compact size reels on like 6 to 12 pound rods, that sort of thing, just to be able to throw these bigger lures. And then also the bigger reels help with the retrieval speed, because we are burning these lures across the top fairly quickly. If we're out here doing this with, you know, 1 to 3 kilo really finesse rod with a 2,000 size reel, you just wouldn't get the action out of the lure. You wouldn't be able to throw the lures because they'd be too heavy for the rods. So, oh, we just got to eat right at the nose of the boat.
Look at it.
Straight.
This might be bigger than a 37A.
Well, perfect example of what we're using here. Blade and tails, Wilson rod, 6 to 12 pound rod, 6'10", and we've got a 3,000 Revelry on there. We got, I think that's got PE 1.2 Saltiga braid. So breaks at about 18 to 20 pound, but we're fishing a 14 pound leader anyway. Thanks for coming, Bass. Good job, Brax. Just made the tackle talk heaps more interesting. The clicker's not working. Oh yeah?
Jump out of that sun there, man.
Dad, look on the side. You can see how much...
Do I put it in now?
No, mate, you don't put the noodles in. We put the water in the tub, remember?
Oh, yeah.
That's why we needed to be out of the wind. Look at that, water's nearly boiling already. There you go. Oh! Oh, yes, you got him. Oh, I missed him.
What he done to the frog?
Frog it out.
That's sick.
Not your usual 5-star YouTube catch and cook, is it? Bought these noodles yesterday at Aldi. Simply beef, but they're delicious, eh? Just a bit of water in the jet boil. Just pulled up for a bit of a feed. Early morning, we had to hide in the car a bit while it was still pouring rain, but rain's cleared now, sun's out. Cool little session this morning on those choppos and the buzz baits on the surface. That was sick. We might have only caught a couple or landed a few, but geez, we got some sick bites, and it's visual fishing. You get big blow-ups all the time. It's so much fun, so it doesn't really matter if you don't convert that many, because all we're doing is taking them off and letting them go anyway. I mean, it's cool getting them in the boat, but seeing the eats and seeing the blow-ups all the time, that's the funnest part of it all. So it's so visual, and you're always watching your lure. But now we've gone away from that. The sun's gotten a little bit higher in the sky, so we're going to try and find some shadows now, these overhanging trees. We're going to go skip some frogs and some other sorts of lures up under the overhangs. Braxy just got one then while we were boiling up. You should probably already watch that, but yeah, had the jet boil going. Braxy chucked a frog in the edge there. Oh, you missed it, didn't you?
Yeah.
A couple of eats.
And it folded the frog in half.
But we're going to finish these noodles and start throwing some frogs.
You can hit the big gap then, and I'll hit the small one.
Yeah, because I can't cast it.
There's another cracker. Cast the frog up in the snag again. Mad eat that one. I was actually just getting ready to retrieve it and boofed the frog off the top. give you a quick look at something on the side of these. So if you do ever get the chance to go and chase these sick Aussie bass, they're an epic fish. But that gill raker, almost got to show you really well then. That gill raker on the side, be super careful of that. That is some serious, that will do some serious damage. I just got a top spine in the thumb. See the things I do for you? Teaching you about the bass and I spike myself. We better get this one back in the water, but I'm talking too much and this fish needs to go back in. Oh! Snuck up river a bit to get out of that horrendous wind. As we said earlier, going to come throw some frogs around under these snags. Pretty cool fish, just had me tied up in the weed. But maybe the fish of the trip, but hopefully not the biggest that we get the whole trip. Just throwing those bait junkie frogs, weedless hook, sick way to catch them, right up under the cover. There was a bunch of weed, real thick weed out on the edge. I just rolled it out of the snag across the weed and we got this one. Just pop that hook out. Oh, little wee.
Oh, pee.
Little wee
Pee
wee.
straight on my toe.
That's weird. Just seen a dead bird in the water and there's a massive eel eating this bird. This is wild. Quick, get it in there. We've got the big camera. Oh! What? He just snapped himself off a chicken leg. KFC for the eel. Look, he's about. Oh!
Wow, wow.
Get that, mate. It is massive, bro. Hands are shaking. Skipped a frog right up underneath there, as you just seen. And this big one just blew up on it. This is a pretty good fish. Banksy's got the zip tied net there for us. This one's definitely the fish of the trip so far. Oh, we want to land him. We want to land him, Banks. Oh, get that net under him. He don't like the look of that net, does he?
I hit him in the head on accident.
That's a proper one, Banksy. Yeah. Pretty happy with that one. That's a pretty cracking bass, especially in the structure. Frogs, doesn't get much better. He's over 40, which is cool. Yeah, he just crunched it.
No, you didn't.
What we're doing here, we're just throwing these chatterbaits, but we're just fishing them high in the weed. And Banks' arm hurts, in case you needed to know that. Feels way further away from the fish I'm about to catch. You feel them crunch it. Rod tip up now, Banks, and one.
Yeah.
Jeez, they crunch these things, man. So fun. Bass fishing. It's honestly quickly becoming my favourite thing to do. So much less expensive, so much more affordable as well is what I should say than chasing GTs and all those other expensive offshore species. Cool little Aussie bass.
Got a front foot, mate.
Hey, what do you?
Yeah. Totally good.
Oh, big ones.
Oh, he's a cracker. Could be a net job.
Yeah.
Cameraman, get the net, please.
There, he's just lifting in.
Sick.
Well done. Watch him on that hot deck, perhaps.
I was just slow rolling it over the weed and it just thumped it.
Yeah, Dad,
Maybe
can I
net
fish
for
with the boat?
Yes.
Oh, there he is.
Mad.
He's got me in the weed. Oh, he's out.
Talk through.
He's out. He's wrapped me up in the weed again. Just rolling that chatterbait along there. Oh, we've figured out a bit of a pattern here. We worked hard because we absolutely love catching them on top water. Obviously, that's the best way to catch them, on the frogs and on the buzz baits and that. But we've worked out a bit of a pattern here, so we're starting to bang some numbers, and it's good.
Ugh.
We'll do it next one.
Oh, it's straight in the hooked in the eye.
Wild bass fishing, how good.
Yeah, but it's
He's
straight.
not in the eye banks, it's behind it.
Oh,
Nearly had my first proper fish. Last one wasn't camera worthy.
We got the cameraman on the rod now. Well, we've all caught a few fish, so it's Dan's time to have a bass
Okay,
fish.
Brad.
Oh, Banks has just full snaked him. No etiquette at all. Look, heard there was a fish out there.
Get back to work.
Jumps in his grave. Dano's caught, well, no bass until today, ever.
Popped my cherry.
And he just caught a very little one. So cast over Banks.
Yep.
See, there's broken pockets in
Yep.
between all that weed down there.
Yep.
Go down there and just burn it. And if you add a weed pile, literally get it on top nearly, so like a buzz bait, and then sort of slow it down in between them.
Can you fix it?
Yeah, mate.
Oh, wow.
are you still on?
Oh, did you see that?
Crunched it twice.
Will they have another crack, same fish, or will that spook
Yeah,
in you?
I would say if they don't feel the hooks, like you've seen the way they hit a frog now on the edge, like, or a cicada or something.
That was, like you said, drop it over that weed and let it sink a bit, and that's when it hit it. Right
They
there.
are pretty vicious, but
Dad, did you get a lizard on?
get the net banked. Get the net banked. Another big frogger. There's good quality fish in here, eh? We haven't got too many little babies. Another pushing 40 model. Well, heaps of fun on the chatterbaits, but like I said, I do love catching them on frogs, top waters. So we couldn't resist. We're pushing a fair way up the river now. We're going to do a bit of explore, go to some places we haven't ever fished before. So thought I'd chuck the frog on. This edge looked really good. Deep water right up to the edge with these overhanging trees. Little rocky backdrop. Just skipped a frog right up under the back there and got another nice one. Let's keep fishing, eh? Sick. The other tree. That's because we buried the hook because we didn't want to hook the lizard, alright? We didn't want to hurt him. Well, hopefully you all enjoyed it as much as we did. What an epic couple of days chasing some Aussie bass. Australian natives, they're an absolute sick fish. Anything you've seen us using here is available on hottackle.com.au if you want to jump on and check it out. On the Chew merch, this jersey's dropping very soon, or it may even be on the website when this video goes up. But thanks for coming for a couple of days. What a great time. Thanks, Dan, Something Visual, the cameraman behind the lens, doing an epic job. Me, Braxy and Banks have probably done the best bass fishing we've done in a long time. Huge shout out to Jacko from Mezcal as well. This is an absolute weapon, this boat. If you want to get a custom built plate boat done, make sure you give Jacko a shout out. Thanks everyone. See you on the next one.
See yous.
See ya.